Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in every person's life when they look in the mirror and realize the clock is ticking, but the dream is still alive. You may be in your 40 seconds, perhaps with more responsibilities, more scars, and more experience than ever before, and yet something inside you whispers, "I'm not done. I was built for more." I'm here to tell you that whisper is not fantasy. It's the voice of your purpose, demanding its rightful place in your life. Dominating your industry in 90 days is not a fantasy. It is a formula, and the first step in that formula is definite purpose. You cannot hit a target. You do not define your vision for the next 90 days with absolute precision. What do you want to be known for? What result will make you unforgettable? Write it down. Stamp it on your mind. Speak it until it becomes reality. Second, act with faith in action. The world does not reward hesitation. It rewards conviction. You must believe in your rise long before the evidence appears. Every empire was once invisible, living only in the builder's imagination. Third, form your mastermind alliance. No one rises alone. Seek those who lift your spirit, challenge your excuses, and amplify your energy. Protect your circle, for it is either your power source or your poison. Fourth, commit to relentless discipline. Power does not come from passion alone. It comes from persistence. You don't need more time. You need more focus. Every sunrise is an invitation to outwork, outlearn, and outlast the competition. And finally, hold a vision beyond fear. The moment you decide to dominate, fear will visit you. It always does, but fear is only the shadow of growth. When you walk toward your vision with boldness, fear dissolves under the light of purpose. So yes, you may be in your 40 seconds. You may feel that others have already passed you by, but hear me clearly. Experience is your secret weapon. Wisdom is your leverage, and hunger is your fuel. The next 90 days can redefine your entire future if you dare to act with fire, faith, and focus. Decide today that you will no longer compete. You will dominate. Not because it's easy, but because it's your destiny. Now rise up. Sharpen your vision, gather your allies, and step boldly into the battlefield of success. The clock is ticking, and victory is waiting for you. Every great achievement begins with a decision, a firm, unwavering commitment to a single burning purpose. It is not talent, luck, or timing that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. It is clarity of intent. The mind that knows what it wants becomes a magnet for ideas, people, and circumstances that lead to its fulfillment. The universe itself bends toward the will of a person who possesses a definite purpose. Look around you. Every monument of success, every industry titan, every innovator who reshaped their field began with one simple act. They decided exactly what they wanted. They didn't wish vaguely for success, wealth, or recognition. They defined it in precise detail. They knew what mountain they were climbing, how high they intended to go, and why they were willing to endure the climb. You cannot dominate an industry or even a day without first defining your direction. Imagine a ship leaving port without a destination. The wind may be strong, the engines powerful, but without coordinates, it will drift endlessly. Many people live this way, full of energy but devoid of purpose. They move, but they do not advance. They work hard, but they achieve little. Definite purpose transforms motion into momentum and activity into achievement. When you set a definite purpose, you give your mind a command. You awaken a power within that begins to search, plan, and create. Every fiber of your being starts to align with that purpose. You begin to notice opportunities that were invisible before. You attract the right connections and repel the distractions that once delayed you. Your mind becomes a radar tuned to success. This is not mere theory. It is one of the unbreakable laws of achievement. Where focus goes, energy flows. A person with a clear, passionate, definite purpose can accomplish more in 90 days than a distracted soul can achieve in years. The key is not time, the key is direction. 90 days of focused intent can shatter barriers that have stood for decades. But you must be specific. Vague goals breed vague results. Don't say, "I want to be successful." Define it. What does success mean to you? How much do you want to earn? What impact do you want to create? What do you want to master in your industry? The clearer your vision, the stronger your vibration, and the more power you command. Your purpose must be so precise that it ignites emotion. Emotion is fuel, and without it, no goal can sustain the fire of discipline. Perhaps you're in your 40s, standing at a crossroads. You've gathered years of experience, weathered storms, and learned lessons that youth cannot teach, that wisdom is your advantage. You already know what doesn't work. You've seen shortcuts collapse and trends fade. Now, use that experience to refine your purpose with surgical precision. Don't chase everything. Pursue one thing with everything you've got. A definite purpose also acts as a filter. Every day, the world will offer you distractions, new ventures, endless notifications, minor obligations. Without a defined purpose, you'll scatter your attention and wonder why you're exhausted but unfulfilled. But when your purpose is clear, decision-making becomes simple. You ask one question: does this serve my purpose? If it doesn't deserve your energy. The beauty of definite purpose is that it turns ordinary actions into extraordinary steps. Sending an email becomes part of a mission. Making a call becomes a strategic move. Studying your craft becomes an act of devotion. You stop working for money or recognition. You start working from vision. That shift alone multiplies your power. Understand this: definite purpose is not merely about ambition. It is about alignment. When you know your purpose, your thoughts, words, and actions move in harmony. There's no internal conflict, no wasted motion. Every part of you, your heart, your mind, your habits, begins to pull in one direction. And when a person is unified within, no external obstacle can withstand them. In these 90 days, your goal is not to do everything. Your goal is to do the essential things that move your purpose forward. You are not here to compete with others. You are here to compete with your former self. Define what dominance looks like for you. Does it mean becoming the top performer in your field, launching your own brand, reclaiming your health and energy so you can lead with power? Choose one vision. Give it your full attention. The world rewards decisiveness. Once you've written your purpose clearly, read it every morning, speak it aloud, feel it. Let it consume your imagination until it becomes part of your identity. The moment your purpose transforms from a goal you pursue to a destiny you embody, your success is inevitable. You will face doubt. You will face moments when nothing seems to move. But remember, purpose is the anchor that holds you steady through uncertainty. When others give up, your purpose will whisper, "Keep going." When the world says, "Slow down," your purpose will command, "Push harder." And when the moment of victory arrives, you'll look back and realize that the power was never outside of you. It was inside you all along, waiting for clarity to awaken it. So decide right now what your 90-day purpose will be. Declare it, write it, feel it with every cell in your body, then act on it daily with faith and fire for the person who knows what they want and moves with relentless certainty. Time bends, fear fades, and domination becomes not a dream, but a destiny. Faith is not a vague hope or wishful thinking. It is not a casual optimism that waits for circumstances to align. Faith is the invisible force that moves mountains before they appear. It is the confident expectation that what you see in your mind will one day manifest in your reality. Faith is the bridge between your present limitations and your future triumphs. Without it, even the clearest purpose is powerless. With it, the smallest action carries the weight of destiny. Too many people fail not because they lack ideas, knowledge, or talent, but because they lack faith, not in abstract terms, but in themselves, and in the power of action guided by purpose. Faith begins with a belief so strong that it overrides doubt, fear, and hesitation. It is a certainty born in the mind, a conviction so vivid that it drives behavior before evidence appears. Those who dominate their industries are not the luckiest or the smartest. They are the ones who acted boldly when the world around them hesitated. Faith is not passive. It is a dynamic, active force that compels you to move, to experiment, to risk, and to endure. It is the engine that converts vision into tangible results. Imagine planting a seed in the soil and then doubting that it will grow. Even if the soil is fertile and the sun shines, the seed cannot thrive unless you water it with belief and attention. Action without faith is empty effort. Faith without action is wishful thinking. True achievement arises when the two are joined, a union of conviction and effort. Consider the examples of those who have risen later in life, those who were told it was too late, that the timing was wrong, or that the market was saturated. Their secret was simple: unwavering faith in the power of action. They did not wait for permission, perfect conditions, or outside validation. They acted decisively, guided by an unshakable belief that their purpose deserved realization, and in doing so, they created momentum that no obstacle could stop. Faith in action also demands that you trust your intuition and your preparation. You may not see every step ahead, but you must move as if the path exists. Fear and doubt will try to paralyze you. They are natural signals that you are approaching growth. But faith says, I will move forward anyway. It tells you that the knowledge you have, the skills you've honed, and the connections you've built are enough to begin action fueled by faith, generates feedback, opportunity, and clarity. Hesitation generates nothing. Every action taken in faith strengthens your belief. Success is a mirror reflecting the intensity of your trust in yourself. When you take bold steps despite uncertainty, you are not gambling. You are demonstrating to your mind and to the universe that you are committed to victory. Small victories compound, confidence grows, and what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. Faith is the multiplier that transforms effort into results faster than effort alone ever could. Faith in action also requires persistence. The world does not bend instantly to your desire. Obstacles will appear. Critics will speak. Failures will test your resolve. But faith is not shaken by setbacks. It is strengthened by them. When you act in faith, every challenge becomes an opportunity to prove your commitment, to refine your strategy, and to strengthen your momentum. Those who quit at the first obstacle are not defeated by circumstance. They are defeated by their own lack of belief in the power of persistent action. It is essential to understand that faith is cultivated, not inherited. It grows from repeated successes, lessons learned from mistakes, and a conscious decision to act despite fear. Each time you take an action aligned with your purpose, you reinforce the certainty that you are capable, that the path exists, and that your goal is within reach. Doubt may whisper, but repeated action silences it. Faith is built one bold step at a time. Faith in action is also contagious. When you act with confidence, others are drawn to your energy. They are inspired by your commitment and more willing to join your cause, offer guidance, or provide resources. Your belief creates a gravitational field that attracts opportunity. People who dominate their industries understand this principle intuitively. Momentum grows faster when supported by a network that recognizes and mirrors your conviction. For those in their 40s, faith in action has a special significance. You have lived enough to know the risks, but you have also learned that hesitancy yields regret. The years you've spent accumulating skills, knowledge, and resilience are not burdens. They are tools. You now possess the wisdom to act decisively, and faith is what transforms that wisdom into measurable success. Age is irrelevant when combined with belief and deliberate effort. So act today as though your vision is already reality. Make the first call, send the first proposal, launch the first campaign, or learn the first skill with confidence that it matters. Let no fear of failure or lack of precedent prevent you from moving. Faith in action is the single most powerful tool you have. It turns uncertainty into opportunity, doubt into momentum, and intention into achievement. Remember, faith does not wait for evidence. It creates evidence through action. When your mind is aligned with purpose and your hands are set in motion, the world responds. The impossible becomes possible. The delayed becomes immediate, and the hesitant become leaders. Faith in action is not just a principle of success. It is the law by which dominance in any field is earned. Do not wait for perfect conditions, permission, or luck. Decide now, act with conviction, and trust that every step taken in faith propels you closer to the life and success you deserve. Let every action be an act of belief. Let every decision be proof that your vision matters. And in 90 days, you will look back and realize that your faith, combined with relentless action, made the impossible inevitable. No person achieves greatness alone. Even the most brilliant minds, the most talented individuals, and the most determined souls cannot dominate an industry in isolation. Success, at its highest level, is always a team effort, but not just any team. It is forged through alignment with a group of like-minded, purpose-driven individuals, each committed to lifting one another toward the pinnacle of achievement. This is the power of mastermind alignment. A mastermind is not simply a network of acquaintances or colleagues. It is a deliberate alliance of minds bound by shared vision and mutual support. The energy generated in such a circle multiplies individual effort exponentially. One person working in isolation may labor for years with little progress, but a cohesive group, aligned around a common purpose, can accelerate results, uncover opportunities, and solve problems that would seem insurmountable alone. The first principle of mastermind alignment is selectivity. Not everyone belongs in your inner circle. Surrounding yourself with individuals who doubt your vision, drain your energy, or tolerate mediocrity will slow your ascent and weaken your focus. You must be uncompromising in choosing companions who share your hunger for success, your commitment to excellence, and your willingness to act decisively. Energy is contagious. Align with the right people, and your own momentum grows stronger. Align with the wrong people, and you risk being pulled into stagnation. A true mastermind thrives on diversity of thought. It is not a group of clones, but a coalition of complementary strengths. Each member contributes a unique perspective, skill, or experience, allowing the group to see solutions and possibilities beyond the reach of any single mind. When aligned, this collective intelligence becomes a force multiplier. Each challenge is dissected, each opportunity magnified, and every failure analyzed for lessons that speed future success. Alone, you might stumble repeatedly over the same obstacles. Together, you find solutions and adapt with agility. Mastermind alignment also demands honesty and accountability. Within this circle, mediocrity is not tolerated. Encouragement is paired with challenge. Members hold each other to the highest standard, refusing to accept excuses, rationalizations, or delays. This dynamic creates pressure, yes, but it is pressure that forges excellence. When every action is visible to a group that demands your best, complacency becomes impossible. You are forced to elevate yourself continuously, and in doing so, your vision begins to take form faster than you imagined. Another crucial element of mastermind alignment is the exchange of ideas. Alone, you may see one path limited by your perspective. In a mastermind, ideas collide, intersect, and combine, creating innovations that no individual could conceive. Strategies are refined, risks are assessed, and opportunities are illuminated. Every member becomes both a teacher and a student, contributing to collective wisdom while absorbing insights that propel personal growth. This synergy is the invisible engine that powers rapid achievement. Faith and action are amplified within a mastermind. When your vision is reinforced by others who believe in it as strongly as you do, doubt loses its grip. Every challenge that feels insurmountable in isolation becomes a shared problem with shared solutions. Every small success is celebrated, reinforcing confidence and sustaining momentum. This environment of support and challenge is crucial in transforming 90-day plans into reality. Mastermind alignment is not passive. It requires deliberate effort, regular meetings, transparent communication, and a commitment to give as much as you receive. The most valuable members of a mastermind are those who are generous with their knowledge, time, and influence, yet relentless in their pursuit of results. Reciprocity is the secret. When each member contributes fully, the collective power of the group becomes unstoppable. For those in their 40s, the value of a mastermind is even more profound. At this stage of life, experience provides wisdom, but energy must be directed wisely. A well-aligned mastermind filters distraction, refines focus, and accelerates progress. You no longer have the luxury of trial and error at a slow pace. Mastermind alignment allows you to leverage the insights and energy of others to move with precision and speed toward domination. Age is irrelevant when the collective force of aligned minds amplifies your capability. A mastermind also acts as a sounding board for courage. Ideas that seem too bold, too risky, or too unconventional can be tested within the circle. Constructive critique allows you to refine your approach without losing momentum. And when you leave the circle to act, you carry the confidence of collective wisdom. No longer do you act alone. You act supported, guided, and strengthened by the energy of the alliance. The final and most important principle of mastermind alignment is intention. The circle must exist not for casual networking, social comfort, or ego stroking. It must exist for results. Every conversation, every interaction, every idea shared is directed toward advancing the purpose of the group and, by extension, the purpose of each member. Mastermind alignment is a tool of precision, a mechanism that channels collective intelligence into focused action. When properly cultivated, a mastermind does more than provide advice. It transforms lives. It accelerates decisions, expands opportunities, and forces you to operate at a higher standard than you could alone. The cumulative energy, insight, and accountability of the group compress years of trial and error into months of progress. In 90 days, a properly aligned mastermind can help you achieve more than most accomplish in a lifetime. In short, no matter your skill, knowledge, or experience, the right alliance of minds will always multiply your results. Seek those who elevate, challenge, and inspire you. Contribute your full value in return. Engage daily in focused dialogue. Share victories and setbacks, and hold each other accountable to the highest standard. In this crucible of collaboration, your vision transforms into reality, and domination in your field becomes not a possibility, but an inimitable outcome. Relentless discipline is the engine that transforms vision into reality. It is not talent, luck, or fleeting inspiration that creates domination in any field. It is the daily, uncompromising commitment to action, even when enthusiasm fades, even when the path is hard, and even when the world tells you to rest. Discipline is the difference between dreaming and achieving, between planning and executing, between ordinary results and extraordinary success. Without it, purpose remains an idea, faith remains a concept, and even a mastermind alignment cannot produce lasting outcomes. Many people underestimate the power of consistent, focused effort. They believe that bursts of motivation, sudden inspiration, or occasional hard work will carry them to success. They do not understand that excellence is not a single event, but a pattern, a relentless rhythm of action repeated day after day, regardless of circumstance. The person who dominates their industry is not the one who works hardest in isolated moments, but the one who refuses to waver, refuses to pause, and refuses to accept mediocrity in the small tasks as well as the big ones. Relentless discipline begins with structure. Without a clear plan, energy dissipates, focus drifts, and days slip away unnoticed. The disciplined individual identifies the highest value actions that advance their purpose and ensures that these actions are non-negotiable. Every morning becomes a declaration of intent, every task a building block of achievement. Discipline is not about doing more for the sake of activity. It is about doing the right things consistently, even when distractions, fatigue, and doubt attempt to steal your attention. Habits are the cornerstone of discipline. The mind alone cannot sustain relentless effort. It must be supported by routines that automate success. Small, daily actions repeated without fail create momentum. Reading, learning, networking, creating, marketing, or improving your craft, each becomes part of a disciplined system. Over time, these habits compound, transforming months of effort into results that appear almost miraculous to the untrained eye. 90 days of disciplined action can establish momentum that lasts for years. Discipline also requires sacrifice, comfort, convenience, and the temporary pleasures of procrastination must be subordinated to your ultimate purpose. Many fail not because they lack talent or resources, but because they choose comfort over conquest. To dominate your industry, you must be willing to do what others refuse to do. You must act when others rest, prepare when others play, and persevere when others quit. Relentless discipline means holding yourself accountable to your goals, even when no one is watching. It is the private work that produces public results. Resilience and consistency are inseparable from discipline. Obstacles will appear, plans will falter, and setbacks will challenge your resolve. The disciplined individual responds not with panic or surrender, but with methodical adjustment and renewed action. Each failure is reframed as feedback, each delay as an opportunity to strengthen the system. Relentless discipline does not require perfection. It requires persistence. It is the unwavering commitment to continue moving forward, step by step, day by day, toward the goal, no matter how difficult the terrain. Focus is the silent force behind discipline. In a world full of distractions, the disciplined individual knows exactly what matters and eliminates. everything that does not serve the purpose. Social media, trivial tasks, unnecessary obligations, and self-doubt are swept aside, making room for high-value actions. Discipline is the power to say no repeatedly, so you can say yes to the things that produce results. It is not just working hard, it is working smart, strategically, and unrelentingly toward a defined objective for those in their 40s. Relentless discipline has a unique significance. You have already experienced the consequences of inconsistent effort. You understand that time is a resource you cannot recover. The years ahead will reward focus, consistency, and determination more than experimentation or hesitation. Discipline in your 40s is not a punishment. It is leverage. It allows you to take all the knowledge, experience, and wisdom you have accumulated and transform it into tangible dominance in your field in record time. Accountability amplifies discipline. The person who holds themselves accountable or aligns with those who demand accountability creates an environment where excuses cannot survive. Daily actions, measurable results, and constant evaluation become part of a system designed to convert effort into achievement. When combined with faith, purpose, and mastermind support, relentless discipline becomes unstoppable, a force that sweeps away obstacles and accelerates progress. Discipline is also a mindset. It is the internal command to act even when you do not feel like it. Motivation is temporary, it ebbs and flows. Discipline is permanent. It does not rely on how inspired you are today, but on the commitment you have made to your future. Every action taken in discipline strengthens character, builds confidence, and compounds results. The habits you establish in these 90 days will define your trajectory for years to come. Ultimately, relentless discipline is about ownership. You are responsible for your results, your growth, and your destiny. No one else can impose the work required to dominate your industry. Every decision, every effort, every sacrifice is yours to make. When you embrace discipline fully, when it becomes the very rhythm of your life, success is not a possibility. It is inevitable. In 90 days, consistent, disciplined action can transform your position in your industry. Momentum will build, opportunities will multiply, confidence will grow, every challenge will be met with preparation, every opportunity seized with clarity, and every day will bring measurable progress toward domination. Discipline does not require extraordinary circumstances. It requires extraordinary commitment. So commit today. Organize your days, automate your success through habits, prioritize relentlessly, eliminate distractions, and act daily with unwavering focus. Let every sunrise remind you that your actions define your destiny. Let no obstacle, no fatigue, and no excuse derail you. Relentless discipline is your bridge from ambition to achievement, and it is the single most powerful tool you have to dominate your industry in 90 days, even in your 40 seconds. Fear is the single most powerful obstacle standing between you and your ultimate success. It lurks silently, disguised as caution, hesitation, or self-doubt, whispering that the risk is too great, that you are too late, or that the world will reject your ambition. Fear is not real in the sense that it can stop you. It exists only in the mind, and it only has power if you give it power. To dominate your industry, to rise above mediocrity, and to claim the success that is rightfully yours, you must develop a vision beyond fear. You must see your goals so clearly, so vividly, and so compellingly that fear becomes irrelevant. Vision beyond fear begins with clarity. You must know exactly what you want to achieve and why it matters. A goal without emotional significance is easily overwhelmed by doubt. Your vision must ignite your imagination and burn so brightly that fear cannot compete. When you visualize your success in vivid detail, you are creating a mental reality that draws your actions and circumstances toward it. Fear may be present, but it becomes secondary, a shadow in the presence of a blazing purpose. To act with vision beyond fear, you must acknowledge fear without succumbing to it. Fear is a natural response to growth and change. It is the mind's way of protecting you from discomfort. But success is not found in comfort. It is found in courage. The courage to move forward despite fear, the courage to take decisive action when uncertainty looms, and the courage to persist when the path is unclear. Every step you take in the presence of fear strengthens your resolve and proves to your mind that you are capable, resilient, and unstoppable. Fear often disguises itself as logic, presenting countless reasons why now is not the right time, why you are not ready, or why failure is inevitable. But vision beyond fear transforms logic into opportunity. It allows you to see that every obstacle is a challenge to master, every risk is a chance to grow, and every setback is temporary. You begin to realize that the presence of fear is a signal, not a barrier, that you are on the edge of meaningful progress. Fear becomes a compass, pointing you toward areas where growth is greatest and where dominance is most possible. Action is the antidote to fear. The moment you act, fear loses its grip. Thought alone, worrying and hesitating, allows fear to grow. But decisive, intentional action creates momentum that fear cannot withstand. Each small step forward reduces the power of doubt, builds confidence, and strengthens belief in your own ability to achieve. Acting in spite of fear is not reckless. It is strategic. It is proof that your vision matters more than your anxiety, and that your purpose is larger than your doubts. Another critical element of vision beyond fear is resilience. The path to dominance will always include resistance, criticism, and failure. Those who are guided by fear will shrink, retreat, or delay, but those with vision beyond fear see these challenges as temporary, necessary, and even welcome. Every difficulty becomes a lesson, every critique a tool for refinement, and every failure a step toward mastery. Vision beyond fear allows you to see the bigger picture, where short-term pain is eclipsed by long-term triumph. Faith is intertwined with vision beyond fear. You must believe that your efforts will yield results even when the evidence is not yet visible. You must trust that the skills, knowledge, and relationships you have built are sufficient to navigate challenges. Faith turns uncertainty into action, and vision turns that action into measurable progress. Fear has no place in a mind that is both faithful and visionary. In your 40s, fear often manifests as doubt about timing, opportunity, or relevance. You may ask yourself, am I too late? Can I really achieve this now? Vision beyond fear requires a radical rejection of these questions. Age is not a limitation, it is leverage. Your experience, wisdom, and accumulated knowledge give you a unique advantage. Fear is only relevant if you allow it to overshadow your clarity, confidence, and capacity to act decisively. Your vision must be so compelling that it sweeps away hesitation, self-criticism, and comparison to others. Surrounding yourself with the right influences amplifies your ability to act beyond fear. Mastermind alliances, mentors, and supportive colleagues provide perspective, encouragement, and guidance. When fear threatens to immobilize you, the voices of those who share your purpose remind you of your capability and the reality of your goals. Vision beyond fear does not require isolation. It thrives in an environment that fosters courage, accountability, and inspiration. Finally, vision beyond fear demands courage to embrace uncertainty as part of the journey. You will never have complete control over outcomes, and perfection is an illusion. Yet those who dominate their industries understand that uncertainty is not an enemy, but a canvas. Bold action in the face of fear shapes that canvas into opportunity. Every decision taken with courage, every calculated risk embraced, and every bold step forward compounds, eventually creating results that once seemed impossible. In 90 days, if you act with vision beyond fear, you will discover a transformation not only in your industry position, but in yourself.